like Stacy said, I'm totally honored and blessed to be here, and thank you. I'm Kim Hogan, and been with the company about 6 years. So I'm going to talk about recruiting and growing your team in the Sweet 16. Truth, everyone in this room started with the same kit pretty much, right? Nobody got anything super spectacular special. Certain kits don't come with magic. Gene Jonas and Doris and Tracy aren't sitting there sprinkling magic pixie dust over certain kits to make you succeed. But it's what you do with these kits that are truly going to be make the magic. We've all seen something similar to this, the 4 pillars to your successful Pampered Chef business. And I'm going to talk about the skill, the will, the passion, and the belief in recruiting. And I apologize to those that were at Grace's retreat. This is pretty much my presentation from there, but it is a great, anybody can use this with your own teams because it's kind of nice general, so the great recruiters in here can share this with their team. So skill. What are the, nobody has to know how to be a good recruiter. Like Stacy said, we all can learn the skill to be a good recruiter. So these are some of the things that you can do. Go to a successful recruiter show. Sharon Zellen talks about how she wanted to earn the trip and she went to Jillian Grant's show. So that's something you can do. We have the show observation form. You can take notes, but then after you go there and take the notes, you want to put them in action. Take something from it, just like from this retreat, everything that we're learning here today, you want to take something and do something with it. YouTube videos from the top recruiters in the company, like Sharon, like Stacy, John Johnson, Ellington Boyce. We have tons of recorded calls on recruiting. Listen to them. Listen to them in your car. Listen to them while you're cleaning your kitchen and cooking dinner. Learn how to play recruiting games like the Y bag, stealing hearts, the ticket activity, the recruiting slide, whatever it is. You're not going to do all of them, but do something at your game, at your show, and do it no matter what. If you have 3 people there or if you have 50 people there, still do it every single time. Sometimes those 3 people shows, you wind up recruiting all 3 people because it's so much more intimate and you get that connection. Learn to get your big ask on. Ask everyone and judge no one. We all heard John talk about that, right? Just ask everyone. Complete programs on the Pampered Chef University, on Pampered Chef, the Consultant's Corner, the recruiting section now. You want to practice recruiting interviews using the digital cards or the cards we can get on the supply order, and practice using them, and you might actually just recruit the person that you're practicing with. We have show outline cards. When Kathy Cocazella was asking me, she helped create them, and we were talking about station style shows before conference. I didn't even know that we had them, honestly. And if you use them, they're great because it makes sure you do every single step that you're supposed to do. So use what Pampered Chef gives us. Create some kind of system for tracking your leads and following up with them. One thing that has been truly amazing for my recruiting business is I created a Facebook group called Starting Your Own Business Questions and Answers. And what it is a Facebook group that if, say, I meet Ashley at a show, and Ashley's like, oh, I don't know, I might be interested, and I give her some information. I said, look, why don't we connect? Are you on Facebook? And she'll say yes. I open up we connect right then and there. I say, look, I have this private little group, and you can go on there with your spouse or your significant other and just look around. And it has things like what comes in the kit, how much can you make, whatever the bonuses are. I have testimonials from conferences and so forth. And then she's always there until she removes herself. And maybe 3 months later, she may see something there that intrigues her, and then she joins. They're how I invite to my virtual opportunity events and to my team meetings. That's been really helpful for me to track my leads. I also use the book that Nancy Jo has, and I keep track that way, but that's a really good way for me. You want to attend your team meetings and any type of training you can, because the magic happens when a group of people get together with the same goals, like summer conference.
Say that again.
A group of the magic happens when a group of people get together with the same goals. So red flags. You all have little red napkins in front of you. One of the things that was really, and if you need some, I have some more in the back if you used yours for something else. One of the trainings as a newer consultant, this was done at a team meeting for me, and this is a great training to do with your teams, is when you hear a red flag, I want you to shake your napkins, because literally every time I hear a red flag from someone, I see red napkins flying in front of my face. I took a car service from the airport to here. Karen was the driver's name, and she had called me and before my flight landed, and it says, this is Kim Hogan with the Pampered Chef. So when I got there, she's like, oh, you're with the Pampered Chef? I have a stove and I have another cookie sheet or something. So we got talking, and during the ride, she's telling me, yeah. I said, how long have you been doing this? She says, for a couple months. Then she says that she's doing it because she's trying to get more real estate. She just moved here, trying to work her real estate business, but things have been tight. There's a red flag. So I'm seeing the red flags going off. So we're talking the whole, I had a 45-minute ride with her, and she has my information. I did ask her, and I said, Karen, you sound like, you said you like to cook. Your husband doesn't like to eat what you cook. You could cook for other people, and, this could be great for you, a great way to make extra money. So she has my information. She gave me her information, and we'll see what happens. But red flags. So these are some red flags that during the recipe demo, one guest says, how many consultants are in this area? So another one of the guests smiles and nods her head a lot, and she's really on the edge of her seat. Guests that are preparing a recipe together, one of them asks a lot of questions. One of the guests gives a testimonial about cookware, and another one says she wishes she could afford it. When you're at the show, the host and some of the relatives are already there. When you're there, one gets up and says, are your bags really heavy? A guest may ask, are all of those products yours? A guest says, oh, you're so good at this. I could never do what you do. Somebody may ask, are you paid in products? How long have you been doing this? How many shows do you do each month? And do you find it hard to get parties? So just think about that. Just see those little red flags going off in your head. And you can do this with your team. It's really a fun activity. So get over the no. As a newer consultant, I saw the Go for No training at conference, and that was so inspirational to me, is realizing they're not saying no to me, they're saying no to the business. And I think a lot of people have a hard time. They hear that no and they shut down. And they don't, you don't want to take it personally. So one of the things you can do is have your team ask each other to practice and say, have you ever considered earning additional income? And have them literally shout in each other's faces no. Because nobody is ever going to say that at all. They're just going to say, no thank you. It's not going to be really awful. So you want to go for no. The yes is the destination. No is how you get there. One of the things I'd like to do is... Oh, go for no. Yes is the destination. No is how you get there. Now, you might be looking for the person that is similar to you. But as we look around this room, there are so many different types of women and men doing this business. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and if it applies to you, just please raise your hand. Is there anybody that's a male in this room? Please raise your hand. We all know that there's people such as Brian Parker, David Meehan, John Johnson, Michael Reeves that are amazing at this business. If you're a female, raise your hand. Who loves to cook? Who hates to cook? Who didn't know how to cook before their kid arrived? What is your highest degree of education? Anybody with a GED? Anybody with a high school diploma? Anybody with an associate's degree? Bachelor's degree? Master's degree? Anybody with a PhD? All right. Who sold Pampered Chef before and then stopped and rejoined? Who has sold another direct sell company? If you're between the age group of 18 to 25, raise your hand.
That's what I tell people.
26 to 35. 36 to 47. 48 to 55. 56 to 65.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like, oh, I think
66 to 75.
Should I just read
Anybody over 75?
I'll look good.
Anybody a stay-at-home parent? Stay-at-home parent. Anybody else work full-time? Anybody else work part-time? Anybody close to 5 years from retiring at their full-time job? Anybody retired from their full-time job? Who has a military spouse? Who has a spouse that travels a lot? Who has a stay-at-home spouse? Who's hosted a party before becoming a consultant? Who's hosted several parties before becoming a consultant? Who was never asked by their past consultant to join their team? Who in this room was asked more than once before finally joining? Who took more than a week to join? Who took more than a month to join? Who took more than a year to join? It's not always the first time we ask. Who's single? Everybody's married? Who's newly married? Anybody widowed? Who has 1 kid? 2 kids? 3 kids? 4 kids? Who has more than 4? All right. Who's a single parent? Who does this to stay at home with their kids? Who does this to get away from their kids? Who has grandkids? Who has a ton of friends? Who has just a few close friends? Who has an upline that lives within 1 hour? Who has an upline that you have to drive long distance or would be long distance? Is there anybody in this room that doesn't drive? I have 3 people on my team that do not drive at all. Anybody with a disability, either blind, deaf, or recovering from an addiction? Whose favorite color is red? Blue, green, purple. They're all different. Who is the B word? Who is busy?
You can put whatever after the B.
Who is grateful that someone asked them to give this business a try? So just close your eyes for 2 or 3 seconds and just think about what your life would be if your recruiter never asked you to share the opportunity.
What if
Yeah.
we decided ourselves?
Yeah, I signed up on
Yeah,
mine.
I called somebody, yeah.
Yeah, I gave it to Nancy Jo already so she can share it. All right, so that's the skill, the will. The next ones are shorter. Are you willing to do what it takes to build your skill in recruiting? The will, are you willing to do what it takes to build your skill in recruiting? Is it always easy? No. And as Ellington Boyce said at conference, hell no. Is it always comfortable? No. The magic happens once you're outside of your comfort zone. Will there be something that you need to give up? Yes, I have to give up The Bachelor on Monday night to do my team meetings, and then we all watch it later. Are the rewards worth it? Absolutely. You can have results, you can have excuses, but you can't have both. And don't allow yourself to indulge in saying, I'm too busy. When I hear that, I want to choke somebody because there's nobody more busy than me. Stacy talked about this quite a bit. Success is the sum of the small efforts repeated day in and day out and doing them when you don't feel like doing them. There's many times, especially during the breaks, I didn't feel like sitting up doing extra, getting myself ready for when I go back to work. I had off the week. I used that time to prepare myself for January and February.
Don't, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait.
I don't know how to get back.
The arrow on the right side.
Oh, God.
Okay, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And Patty and Marie, you can take this and post it, and you can use this with your teams. I give you full permission to share this.
Thank you.
Okay? Ooh, okay. Passion. When you're doing what you love, it's easier to become the best in the world at it. Passion. Sharon Zellen talks about passion. This is us at the Founders Award. This is all Nancy Jo's downline that own Founders. Yay. So to be there in that group was quite amazing.
Oh, look
Okay,
at,
the
oh, there
hearts
you
came
look at.
up. Well, they're shifted. Those hearts should be closer to Stacy and Ellington. So if I can do this, anyone can do this. Stacy, you talk about being inspirational to others. you were like a major influence in my recruiting outlook, and I love you dearly. I recruited somebody by accident. Somebody came to my website when I was new, and I was in the lead system, and this girl named Crystal joined my team. She never sold anything, but I got to be on the first I think it was the first Wahoo recording conference call. And Stacy and Ellington, I believe, so I was asking Stacy, I'm like, I hope, because I say the story as you, but were the consultants that were talking about recruiting, and some things she said totally changed my outlook in sharing this opportunity. So for me, it wasn't about earning founders, but to be standing up there between the two of them who are so majorly inspirational to me was so amazing. So I love you. Belief, positive thinking. Patty, you just did a thing on positive thinking, right? I give all of my team members, when they join my team, a positivity bracelet. You can get them from, I forget, it's Alex's Angels. So my senior director, let me see how far we are, I don't want to take too long. Go back in a minute. My senior director had sent me a card with this, and I thought she left her rubber band in my card. I didn't know what it was. And there wasn't too much on it. She just said, I found this and I thought you might like it. And I was like, oh, she gave me a rubber band. So, but it says positivity on it. On the back it says shareyourpositivity.org. So I went to look at it. And basically you get 3 of these at a time, and you're supposed to wear them. And when you find somebody that might need a little extra positivity, you share them, take it off your bracelet and share them. Alex's Angels, they're called. I can post the link. They're wind up being about $3 a piece.
What if some people leave like 6?
No, I buy them by the dozens, and I give them to my team. So when they join, I say, I hope that this brings a positive, this business brings a positive influence to your life. When I put it on I wear it every day, and I say, whose life can I change in a positive way when I do it? Because, let's face it, not everything in this business is positive, but we always have to look for the positive in things.
Amen.
Okay. Do you believe this business is a gift? So who are my flower people?
What kind
So,
of thing is that? Oh, that
okay,
one.
so when you were coming in, I tried to pick people that were standing next to somebody. Who felt nice when I gave them that flower? Who was next to them and was like, why is she getting a flower and I'm not getting a flower? So how do you think, if you start looking at people, and I only picked you people to ask about the business, but I looked at somebody else and said, no, I don't think she'd say yes, I'm not going to ask her. But look, we're all in this business, right? So think about that. Start thinking about this business as a gift that you can offer to other people. So I challenge you for seat 16. I challenge each of you in this room to personally recruit at least 16 new team members and qualify them. That's only 1.3 new team members each month. That's so doable.
Oh, that's it?
Yep. That's it. Everybody in this room would earn excellence award in recruiting. You'd earn 48,000 trip points, and you'd have 16 new team members to add excitement to your team. Could we do it?
I'm excited about the one with the 0.3 might be interesting.
So 1 month 2, 1 month 1. You'll be okay. So I hope you believe in yourself as much as I and Nancy, Joe, and everybody else in this room believes in you. Who's ready to take the first step? The hardest part of any journey is taking that first step. Who's scared? Do it scared.
Oh, is she gonna do it? Are you playing? Oh. Are you playing your video? That's the one I take. Oh, I hope they can.
I don't think it's going to come up.
Oh.
Well, I'll post the video.
Yeah.
It's not going to show up. If this is Rory, I'll just say real fast what it is, and I'll post the video so if you haven't seen it. Rory Vaden, and I just happened to stumble upon this looking at Marie and Patty's page one day. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so Rory Vaden went into exec seminar and FaceTimed with them, from what I gather, and talked about it the week of September 11th, and talks about a woman high up on the building of the World Trade Center during September 11th. And the building, everybody needs to get out. It's been attacked. And she is petrified of heights and closed spaces. So she chooses to die instead of going down the flight of stairs. And everybody leaves her, like, you gotta go, and she's like, no, I can't, I'm too scared. So they leave her, and I believe it's a fireman or a police officer finds her, and is like, no, you gotta leave, we have to go, and she's like, I can't, I'm too scared. And he says, just do it scared. So the whole way down the flights of steps, she's in her ear, do it scared. And when she gets out of the building collapses behind them. And he talks about how you may be too scared to ask somebody about the business, but just do it scared. They need you more than you need them. And when you think about it that way, the world is your opportunity. So.